My name is Marc and I am age 51 and my injury is T12. The initial accident happened in 1998. I was out with a group of friends 3 days before Christmas and I decided to walk on a wall and I toppled into the River Thames. I fell 30 foot, collided with a boat mooring which smashed my spine, and my T11, T12 and L1 were crushed. From there, I spent 16 weeks in Charing Cross Hospital, which was quite daunting because a lot of the time no one really necessarily knew what to do with me. And with that came traction, a lot of bed rest. During that first year, the pain levels were getting higher and higher and higher. And when I left hospital, they had created this armour which went right around from the neck to the waist, which effectively was holding everything together, I believe. On having an appointment with my GP at that time, it was highly suggested that I get put in contact with at the time, a very well-known consultant, and we then proceeded to work with titanium and pins, screws, etc. with a major operation. About 4 months after the operation, one of the pins sheared completely, which then led to a lot of pain and being back in a wheelchair. So when I left the hospital after the second operation, a lot of my pain was covered up by incredibly strong medication. It is something that I ended up being on for many, many years, and mainly because of the fact that nothing else would work, nothing else would touch my pain, and that became a massive problem in itself. I then spent effectively a decade trying to find an answer to a question that was always going to remain unsolved, because at this point nobody still had suggested anything to do with spinal cord injury. And then finally in 2012 I was in a car accident, and then it was discovered that I had a spinal cord injury and I lost my feeling from the waist down, basically paraplegic. I just completely isolated, withdrew, wouldn't see people, wouldn't see the family. I just could not cope with being in a wheelchair. And effectively what was said to me was, we can't do anything more with you. When it was suggested that I have a neurophysio, who quite frankly is an absolute saint, Rebecca Jones at Frimley Park Hospital, and she, when she saw what was going on, recognised there was a massive, massive problem that needed a lot more care and attention. And straight away, she had a contact at the Spinal Injuries Association, and she spoke with the advice line first of all, who then put her in contact with who is now my mentor, Carol Barraclough at the Spinal Injuries Association. Through SIA, I was put in contact with Debbie Green, who is the spinal cord injury nurse. What came from the report that Debbie Green wrote was I was put in front of a consultant by the name of Fidel Derry, who then discovered exactly what had been going on with my body and what my spinal cord injury is, why I have paraplegia and so forth, and which at the time was really, really difficult to kind of work with and be content with. And as much as I come across bumps in the road from time to time, the good news is I'm being held. And I think that for the first time in 20 years, I feel like I'm being held. And today, I'm actually having a life. What Spinal Injuries Association has given me today is they've given me my life back. And we all go through whatever we go through. We're all on a path, and sometimes we have to go through what we do in order to get to where we are today. And I'd like to think that I'm here to do something, and I hope that you guys watching this right now will be inspired enough to help with regard to anything that you can do for the Spinal Injuries Association, because without them, I don't know that I'd be alive now.